I think we are good to go.
Okay, awesome. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Thursday's workout. Welcome back. Some of us took a little bit of a holiday last week, so I hope everybody enjoyed their day off last week. I hope that you were able to get in some movement otherwise, maybe on a different day or with me on a different day. Whatever it is that you did, I hope that you were able to keep moving. And we're back now. And today we're going to be doing a little bit of breath work to start. Our usual release work with our warm up. And then we're going to go into some rotations and rows. Okay. Both of these movements are super important. Rotating is something we do in life all the time. Rotating is just anytime it's kind of like a twist. So really working on that can really help with how we do things in life functionally, whether it's reaching down and picking something up off the floor or turning in your car to grab your purse or whatever it is. But keeping that spine nice and healthy and using and tapping into those rotational muscles that can help us just sustain our trunk and keep us moving in a healthy manner, no matter how we move, whether it's walking or wheeling. Okay, so let's get started. The equipment that you need today, pretty simple. Definitely a dowel. So anything that is wider than your shoulders, make sure it's easy to grip. So I know some of us, if we have a higher level injury, you might want to put maybe gloves on. Or I know some of us have some like sticky tape they put on their dowel. That's fine too. Just make sure it's not going to slip and slide everywhere. That can also be just like a broomstick or a dead hockey stick as well. I know some of us use umbrellas, but just making sure it's wider than your shoulders. Okay, and then we're going to be using bands. I'm just demonstrating with one, but if you want to have a couple resistances available, that would be great. We are going to be doing a little bit of shoulder work, so hitting those internal and external shoulder stabilizers, which requires a little bit less resistance. And then your row variations, which is a lot of today, we want to make sure that we have a little bit more resistance on that. So if you have a couple options of bands, I recommend having them there. If you need grip assistance, I recommend having loops made so that you can put it on your hand like this or even around here. Or you can even use bands with handles. I know some of us have bands with handles. Those work well. Okay, and then last but not least, I'm going to demonstrate with a weighted ball, but you can do anything, probably not too heavy. So I would be using, like, you can use a bender ball. You can even hold a yoga block. Some people hold water bottles, anything light, okay? Even a soup can, whatever you have, okay? So something here, bands, and then your dowel, and that's all we're going to use today. Okay, so also make sure you have water on standby. It is cooler now. We're not in those hot temperatures anymore. So make sure that you do have water and no need to be crazy on the overheating today. So I won't make too much of a note on that. Okay, so we're going to start sitting up as tall as we can. I don't usually give notes on posture in terms of your chair, but whatever chair you're sitting in, make sure that we are sitting as tall as can be. So even if it's a chair that you're in all the time, like a wheelchair, sometimes the dump of the wheelchair can cause us to have this kyphotic shape out of our spine. So it's just kind of like if I'm sitting here, it's a little bit of this like slouch. We want to try and avoid that, or at least try and work out of that when we're exercising. So if you know that you have a dump in your chair, I would get something like a rolled up towel or a chip foam block or something you can put just down the back of your chair, and that will just help bring us up a little bit. And that's going to help us access some of these muscles a little bit better. Okay, so go ahead and do that. If you have sensation in your feet, we're feeling our feet planted on the floor. Okay, we have a slight drawing into our belly button, so our abdominals are slightly toned. And we're going to have our shoulders down. Okay, and we're going to actually, if you'd like to close your eyes today, you can. No one can see you, so it's okay. And we're just going to start feeling our breath. I'm not going to give any direction on breathing quite yet. Hey, I'll shut my eyes too so that we're all the same. And we're just going to start by noticing our breath. Okay, so we're not going to do anything here. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I just want you to breathe and just notice. We'll do about 6 cycles. Okay, don't slow it down, don't speed it up. Just breathe how you'd normally breathe and just be noticeable of what's happening in your body. Okay, once we've hit about 6, we're now going to, on the inhale, I want everyone to inhale and hold at the top for 4 counts. So inhale, and now hold your breath. And exhale, let it go. Okay, we're going to do this again. Inhale, and hold your breath, 4 counts. Eyes are still closed. And release it, let it go. Okay, we're doing 2 more. Inhale, hold your breath for 4. And exhale, let it go. Okay, just really easy. The only count you have is 4. Here we go again. Inhale last time. And hold. And exhale, let it go. And open your eyes. Good. Okay, so now we're going to try and do that same pattern. Hands are on the belly, and we're only going to try and breathe through our belly. So we're going to try and avoid, if you felt your chest rising and falling in that last one, we're going to try and avoid that. It's okay if you do that, but we want to try and get into our belly. So you're going to do the same thing, eyes closed if you'd like again. And I want you to feel the air against your hands. So we're going to inhale, hold for 4, and then exhale, let it go. Okay, belly should fall on that exhale. Here we go. Inhale, hold for 4, and exhale, let it go. And again, inhale, belly breath, hold, and let it go. Okay, let's do 2 more together as a group. Inhale, hold, and exhale. Awesome job, everybody. Last one. Inhale, and hold, and last release. Good. So if that felt a little bit uncomfortable for you to slow your breath down like that, then that is probably a really good place to explore. If you have a breath practice, that is something that you might feel as quite familiar. But nonetheless, it's a really good way to get into our bodies and calm our nervous system and get that heart rate down a little bit before we start movement. Okay. All right, try and keep that theme. I'm not going to count breathing for you anymore, but try and keep that theme as we go into our cat-cow. So we're going to tuck the chin, rounding in the spine. Try and slow your breath down with your movement as best as you can. Slowly roll up. Hands behind you if you can. Shoulder blades in your back pockets, heart up to the ceiling, eyes up, and hold. And deep breath, here we go. Tuck that chin again, rounding in the spine, feeling your whole back of the neck get stretched all the way down your back. If you have rods, you're going to do your best. Means you might not be able to have the same rounding in your spine, but you can round in the other parts. Okay, shoulder blades in your back pockets, reach your heart up to the ceiling, lift. Deep breath here, and we're going to do 2 more as a group. Tuck that chin, rounding, like you're going to look through your legs all the way down. Slowly coming up again. Hands behind you, eyes to the sky, shoulder blades in your back pockets. and then reach your heart to the ceiling. And we're going to do last one. And tuck your chin, rounding in the spine. Slowly roll down, really rounding that back more than you think you can. Moving nice and slow. Coming up. Deep breath, reach the heart up to the ceiling. Make a C curve out of your back in the opposite way that you just did. And deep breath, slowly come to neutral. Half circle with the nose. So we're going to do half circle, leading with the nose and look to the side. And look. And look. Look. And look. Good. Last two here. It's nice and smooth, controlled movements. And now we're going to go straight up. So up, bottom jaw on the top, and then we tuck our chin like we're going to grab something right here. And again, up. Sitting up as tall as you can. Don't forget that posture. Always focusing on posture. That is something that we can do all the time. We don't need to be working out to think of our posture, which is why sometimes it's so hard to make changes with, because it's when we're doing other things in life when it matters. Up and down. Good. And now we're going to tip, ear down and up. We should be feeling this stretch on the side of the neck. If you don't, go ahead and tuck your chin back slightly. Sometimes it's because our head is hanging forward. That's it. And again. Good. Last two here as a group. And now we're going to do shoulder rolls. So arms stay like dead weight and you're just moving the tops of the shoulders. Big circles coming forward, making circles in space. And last time here, and now we're going to reverse it, going back. 2. And 8. This is 9. And 10. Now we're going to do a big reach all the way out to the side, up and over. I can lean on this elbow if I want and try and expose your armpit to the ceiling. So we're not reaching up straight to the ceiling. We're arcing over the head and trying to get this side body up to the ceiling. And up and over other side. Try and make yourself really big in space. So big reaches, up and over. Nice big lateral fascial lines here, getting that stretch. And then other side. Awesome. Reach, up and over. And reach, other side. Awesome. Reach. And again, reaching out and away. A few more here. Good. That feels so good. I could do 100 of these. And over. Okay, last time each side. One more round. Here we go. Reach. Exposing that armpit. Notice if the sides feel the same to you or different. And back to center. Good. Now we're going to reach across. So this is a twist. So you're going to rotate, looking at those fingers, and you're going to slice and then try and reach behind you, twisting, opening up, and then back to center. Okay, so twist, slice across, reach all the way back, and then center. And then we do it again. Rotate and then sweep all the way and center, and then we do it again. Rotate and sweep and center, and again. Twist and sweep And last time, rotate and sweep. And now we're going to actually pull something down from the ceiling. So we're going to look up and then pull an imaginary rope down, looking straight up above your head if you can. If you have neck stuff, just keep looking at your monitor. Otherwise, we're going to turn and have the eye gaze up. Nice. Good. Counting down. This is 3 and 2 and 1. And nice. We're going to turn. I'm going to turn. And we're going to do our hinge. So I'm turning. You're going to look at my feet. So if I'm here, you're going to take a leg out, extend it out in front of you. Okay. And there's 3 ways we can do this. We've been working on in this class. So if we don't have a lot of trunk function, you're going to walk yourself down. So you're going to use your hands, walk yourself down, keeping your spine long. So you can see how my back, it's all really straight. And then you're going to come back up and walk yourself back up. Okay. So we're getting a nice big stretch on that extended leg. This is stage 1. If you want a little more freedom, you can grab your dowel and you're going to pull it in close to your chest. And we're going to do a hinge here. And holding that dowel against your chest is going to help keep that spine long. This is version 2. Okay. Version 3 is it only if you have a hinge practice and you feel like you have pretty good range. You can take the dowel away and bring those arms above your head and do a free hinge here. Okay. So we're going to do 10 total. I've demonstrated about 8 so far, but to give us all time, I'll do a few more. Okay. Feel free to just stick with one variation, whichever one works best for you. Okay. And then when you're done that, we'll be going to the other side. So go right into the other side, which means taking that leg back in, maybe helping yourself take that other leg out. Okay. 3 versions. I'll show a few of each. So 1 here, we're in that hinge and reach. Really keeping that spine long, gazing down at your shin bone, keeping the back of the neck nice and long. Okay. Other option is here. Keep going, everybody. I'm just showing all the options in case someone needs to see it again. Tip. Okay, and we have one more option, the hand walk, walking ourselves down, getting close to the end here. I have about 3, so getting yourself to 10 reps if you can. And that was the last one. Excellent. Okay, coming in. I'm going to put my camera down even further. I'm going to hold it. So if you can, you're going to take your feet and I want you to lift your heels up off the floor and then bring them back down. Okay? So lift those heels off the floor, bring them back down. Okay? Lift and down. So we're going to start to feel some work right in here in those calf muscles. Okay? So your toes stay planted and heels come up and down. Okay? Even if you only get a little bit of movement out of this, let's try it. Okay? Up and down. I'm going to take 5. Okay, and this is 4 and 3. Doing your best. 2 and 1 and release. Awesome. Okay, we are going to grab our band. Get you back here. Beautiful. So let's grab your band and we're going to do a little circuit with the band incorporating upper and lower body, okay? So we're going to start with external shoulder rotations. This is where we would use a lighter band, okay? We're going to be doing single arm. So I'm going to be using one hand to stabilize. Okay, this can also be a door. So if you want to attach this to a door, and if you need like your other hand to stabilize on something, we can just do this one arm at a time. But if you don't have a door or you are able to stabilize, you're going to hold one in one hand, and then the other hand is going to stabilize here. Okay, and I'm going to be working this hand here. So what I want to do is keep my elbow in. So my right elbow is staying in almost as if I could hold something. And I'm going to externally rotate and try and pull the band out and away from my body without letting my elbow migrate away from my rib cage. So you're not going to see this, right? We don't want that, this gap, okay? So sometimes it's even helpful if it's not too many things to hold. I'll just hold my phone to hold something in there while you do it so that you can get that feedback of keeping the elbow in line. Okay, here we go. So we're going to try just 10 on each side. Okay, and 10. This other hand is just holding the band stable so that I can feel the resistance. Okay, getting taller. And 7, 8, 9, and that's 10. Excellent. Okay, and then we have the other side to do. So you're going to switch. Do what you need to do to switch that. Okay, stabilizing in the opposite hand. Make sure, the only thing I ask about this side is that your hand is either neutral or up like this. We don't want to have the palm down. So say you don't have a loop like me and you need to grab it, have your palm up as opposed to here. Okay, here we go. 3, elbow in, 2 and 1, and we're opening and back in. Good. And 2. External shoulder rotations. 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7. Good. 2 more. 10 and bring it in. Awesome. Okay, now we are going to take that same band and you're going to tie it around your thighs, or you can just hold it like I do. Okay, I just hold it mostly because I'm lazy and I don't want to tie it. But have something here, feet together. Other hand is going to go on the waist so that we can keep a nice tall spine. Okay, and you're going to think of shooting those knees out and open and then all the way back in. Okay, and I'll just move this down to the end here and open and in. Okay, if you don't feel like you can get a lot of movement with a band, then you can do this without a band and you can just do it like this. If this is hard enough to get movement, just do it without a band, and you can even help yourself a little bit with your hands if you need to. I know there's a few of us in here that might be doing that variation. Okay, and Barbara, if you want to drop the ball, that's fine too. Okay, and here we go. I'm gonna count 20. Everybody can do 10 to 20 depending on what your comfort level is and your abilities are, depending on how challenging you're making this. If the band is super challenging and you want to try it today, maybe we only get out 10, and that's okay. If we're not using the band and you could do a bunch of them, then go for 20. We just want to work to our best abilities. Go to the end, whatever that means for you, with whatever implementation you have. Okay, halfway. Two more. Making sure the knees are getting shot out evenly and relax. Awesome. Okay, we're going to repeat all of that. So starting back up at the band, sip of water if you need it. Okay, external shoulder rotations, banded abductions again. Okay, all of these exercises are on the Ocean Insider Club website. So if you're a part of that program, or you are lucky to be on the summer cohort for the adaptive personal training, every exercise we do today, including lower body, are found on the site. Okay. The lovely Natalia has been adding many lower body exercises to the site so that we can update it. So good to check in and see what's on there now, because it's got a lot more content, which is great. We've had a lot of requests for lower body. All right, here we go. So elbow in, and we open and open. Breathing, sitting up tall. And that's 10 for me, and awesome, good. Okay, so I count for myself. If your counting is off, that's fine. Do what's best for you, or catch up when I do a transition, whatever it is you need to do. Don't feel that your count has to always be the same as mine, because everybody's going to be a bit different. Okay, here we go. Other side. 3, 2, and 1. Really stabilizing. We should be feeling this in the back, right by the shoulder blade of the arm that's working, and maybe even a little bit along the top of the shoulders. So I would be feeling it a little bit in here. Okay. And one more to 10. And awesome, good. Okay, now we're going back into our band work for the thighs. So coming in, tie it if you want to, or hold it. Other hand is on the waist. Here we go. Remember this one too, we don't want to have our feet planted in the floor really hard. We just want to have them resting. I want the knees to only think of going out. We don't want to think of them going down. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, and 1. We're opening. For 20. If you need to stop or take breaks, that is totally fine. And you are halfway already. Nice and smooth with your movement, like you're moving through peanut butter. No jerky movements, no slamming of the knees. Last one here. And relax. Good. So we should be feeling some work right out in here in these outer parts of the hips right in here. Okay. Good. All right. Grab a sip of water. We are going to go into circuits of 3 because we're all warm, I'm assuming by now. I didn't say it at the beginning because I only see familiar names in here, but just a reminder, there's always a chat function. If you have questions or comments, feel free to write it in there. And I'll get back to you as soon as I can. All right. So we're going to move on now. And I'd like you to start with your dowel. So we're going to do a rotation, and we're going to add a kayak with it today. Okay. So we're here. We're going to rotate, and we're going to press as we rotate, bring it in, press as we rotate, and then we're going to kayak, and then we're going to kayak. So a little bit of a combo today. 1, rotate, 2, kayak, kayak. 1, 2, kayak, kayak. Okay. Your kayak should look a little different than mine because I'm hitting a couch. I demonstrate on my couch because this is the best place. So you should be kayaking down like this. I want to see extended elbows, not shallow. Okay. Pretend you're in a deep, deep lake. Down, reach, right? Down, reach. Okay. This is going to be for 1 minute on the clock. Okay. Here we go. No race. We're just timing just so that we don't have to count. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, and 1. So we rotate, punch, dowel, kayak, kayak. And again. and kayak and kayak. And really rotating through the trunk. This is a great place to think, are my hips still? No wiggle parties in the hips. Everybody should be doing this seated. Okay. The benefit to this rotation work is when we're seated. It's actually a lot harder. It's easier to cheat when we're standing. And it's harder because you'll get your muscles working better when we're seated because you're not able to cheat. You have to really focus on staying grounded in your feet, in your hips, and only rotating through the trunk. Okay, so when I blab like this, it goes quick. We only have 8 seconds. And last one, here we go. And last kayak and time. Awesome, good. Okay, grab your band. I am gonna take us into a row. So you can either extend one leg like we had at the beginning and hook your band around the foot and then sit tall. Okay, if that doesn't work, you can attach the band to something like a door. If anybody has like a sliding glass door, a banister, you can tap it around a banister, okay, or maybe both legs or under the front of your, if you have like a really far out foot plate, you can do it that as well. But if that's happening, it's probably just best that you do your foot. So grabbing it around the foot, wrapping it around. Okay, we're doing reps for this. So we're going to do 15 rows. So we're sitting up as tall as can be. I know where my shoulder blades are on my back. I'm going to squeeze my shoulder blades and then I'm going to release. Okay, here we go. 15 reps. I should turn this a little bit. Here we go. And 7. Keeping your front body nice and solid. So we don't want to have any rib popping. Keep your ribs over your hips. Okay, last 5 here. And that's 5. Excellent, good. Okay. Go ahead and put the band aside. We've got one more in the circuit. Okay, you're going to take your object, whatever it is. I'm using a ball. And we're going to have our arms straight, okay? A chest strap would be good for this, okay? Otherwise, nice and tall, arms are straight out, and we're going to do a straight arm rotation and a straight arm rotation. So if I'm truly doing this through my trunk, I'm not going to be able to rotate very far, okay? It's just a little bit. This is a lot of work for shoulders to keep the weight out here. So have a little mini soft bend in the elbows if you need to. And if it's too much and you find yourself straining with your shoulders up, then this object is too heavy. So I would pick something a lot lighter. Reminder, you can always hold something like a pillow or even your phone if you want. If you want no weight, you can hold something like your phone. And you can just do something like that, okay? This is going to be a low rep count because it is challenging, okay? So once again, everybody should be seated. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Rotate. Only your trunk is rotating. You may get hardly any movement out of this, and that's okay because I want you to use your trunk, not your hips. That's it. 4 more. 1, 2, keep that chest tall. 3, and 4. Whew, good. All right, take a little break. That is our full circuit. So there's no real pattern today. It's 1 minute, 15, and then this is only going to be 10. Okay? So get some water. Let me know if you have any questions about that. A tip for those of us that are finding their hips wiggling all over the place, I would recommend tying a band around your knees like so, and actually like tying it, and then having to have tension on the band. So you can see, like, I would have to stay here. I would never be able to have the band get loose while we do it. So keeping a little bit of tone is going to keep our hips still. The other option is to hold something in between your knees while you do it and do the rotations this way. and that's going to also help. So this could be a bender ball. It could be a yoga block. Okay, so use those tips. They're very handy and helpful. Okay, and then we're going to do all this again. So we're going to start with our dowel. Okay, we're on the clock for 1 minute. So we have our rotate, punch, and then kayak, kayak. 3, 2, and go. Breathing. Getting taller. I know a lot of us have already been out kayaking this summer, which is awesome. I myself have blisters on my hand from 5 hours of kayaking. And BC Moss has some great programs, so any of you that don't know what I'm talking about, inquire within after this class, and you can go out on the water and get some kayaking done with the adaptive kayak program. It's awesome. Also adaptive stand-up paddleboard. Keep going. Ready, and you are done. Beautiful. Okay, grabbing your band. So tying around your foot or feet. Okay, I'm demonstrating with my other foot out, just to be even. Grabbing, getting the band over. Sitting up as tall as you can. Nice long posture. Deep breath in. Here we go. We're going to be doing 15. And pull. Two more. And done. Okay, you are done with that. All right. Grabbing your ball or your object, whatever it is. If you need this to be lighter than the first time you tried it, that's fine. You can always switch it out. Okay, this is only 10. So get your hips situated. You might want that block or something in between your knees or the band. Okay, feet planted, elbows as stretched as you can possibly go if it feels good. Otherwise, a mini bend is okay too. Hey, getting tall right out in front. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Exhale on the rotation. Shoulders are away from the ears. And that is 10. Done. Okay. We are doing a third round today, so hang tight. Get your sip of water, whatever it is that you need, and then we're going to meet right back at the dowel work. Hopefully everybody's doing okay. Staying hydrated, keeping up. No one has any comments or questions or concerns. That's probably a good thing. All right. Okay, this will be our last time with these circuits, with this circuit. Okay. So starting with our timer again. All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1, and we rotate. Kayak, kayak. Keep that breath going. Over halfway, everybody. Just here. Awesome. If you use something in between your knees or a band, notice the difference. Does it feel different now, this exercise? Are we able to tap in a little bit more to our core, our trunk, our rotational muscles, instead of our hips wiggling all over the place? Last one here, and then your time, and done. Beautiful. Okay, dowel aside, not away. Grabbing your band, placing it around a foot, both feet, something else. Okay, for our row, sitting up as tall as you can, 15 reps, rib cage over the hips, and here we go. Drive those elbows back. Think of squeezing your shoulder blades. This is a really important one. Really focusing on what's working on this. A lot of people think the arms are the primer exercise or exerciser or body part in this. And yes, your hands are holding the weight, are holding the resistance, but the primary muscle groups that are working here is actually your back muscles, which are a lot bigger than any of your arm muscles. So we need to focus on right in between those shoulder blades. Think of that working and squishing those armpits a little bit as you row. Okay, this is 5, 4, 3. Keep those shoulders away from those ears, 2. And that's 1, and all finished with that. Excellent. Band aside, not away. Grabbing your object, or yeah, should be some object, but maybe it's not heavy. Grabbing a object, and here we go. So getting yourself set up, having those thighs nice and still, band or ball, shoulders roll back, get nice and tall, lift the chest. Here we go for 10 only. Exhale. Even if it's small, we're still trying to get a little bit of movement in there. And 9, and 10, and relax. Beautiful. Okay, you can put that object away, but we're going to keep the band and the dowel. So have those nearby. Okay. We're going to start with your band this time. Okay. We've all done this one before. Okay. At least everybody I see in here. So this is going to be a bow and arrow. Okay. So what I want us to do is have the band in one hand. And if some of us need a little bit extra stability, what you can do is have, instead of holding the arm out like this, you can actually like place it on a table or something and just anchor the band down this way. Okay, and even better, if you're sitting in like a wheelchair, your hand is going to be more at this level. Okay, so hand is either anchored with the band or our hand is out. We're going to grab the band with the other hand somewhat close to where it's anchored, and we're going to think of this imaginary table being right across like my nose, and we're going to bring the elbow, slide it across the table, and you're going to smell the band. Okay, so we're gliding across the table, smell the band. So this hand that I'm wiggling doesn't leave like my face. Okay, we don't need to take it all the way back here. I see this a lot. Okay, it's just to smell right at my hand. Okay, and then we'll do the other side. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. This will be 10 on each side. And that was 10. Okay, and so now we do the other side. I'm just shifting to kind of show you the angle. You don't need to do anything in terms of shifting in your chair. So just stay put, and you're just going to change your hand grip. So now the other hand is either on a table like this, or if you can, you're going to have your arm up. This hand is going to grab pretty close to the other one. Get that elbow up on that table, wipe the table clean, and then smell that band, and then right back. Okay, so getting the range or getting the form is first, and the shape. And then once you have that, we can start focusing on what we're working on. So I want to think of that shoulder blade gliding along your back as you pull. Okay, so right now my left arm, my left shoulder blade. Three more. And that was three. Excellent. Okay, band aside, grab your dowel. Okay, and we're going to do a little bit of an overhead. So we're going to be rotating once our hands are overhead. Okay, so we're going to lift, dowel goes up, we're going to twist, twist, and then bring it back down. Okay, so we go up, twist, twist. So similar to the one we did with that object, I used the ball, but now the hands are overhead. Twist. Okay, if you don't have an overhead practice right now or that doesn't feel good, you can go as high as you possibly can and try and twist that way, or you can just bring it to chest height. Okay? All right, let's go. This is 5 because I'm counting the first few I did. Remember to keep an imaginary peach under your chin. The worst thing we can do for this exercise is to look at the dowel. We don't want to look at the dowel. Keep your eyes forward. I promise we don't need to look at it to make it go over our head. Okay, stay focused ahead. Look at the monitor. Look even down if you need to slightly. We just want to get that neck out of this exercise. One more. And slowly release that. Awesome. Okay, that is just once. I want to get in one more of this bow and arrow exercise, and then we're going to be free to go today. So get some water. Okay, and in terms of starting on sides, I'm going to demonstrate on my other side first. If you know that you have a dominant side due to like MS or paralysis of some sort, and you have like a way more dominant side, I do want you to start on that side. Okay, so start on your dominant side. If you're not sure and you're like, well, I don't know what side's easier for me, then just switch sides. Okay, here we go. Hand out or on a table. Other hand is going to grab the band pretty close. 3, 2, and 1. Pull. Okay, it's like we're smelling a band, so my hand doesn't leave like the edge of my face. And that is 10. Excellent. Okay, other side. Setting up separately. Once again, hand is either resting on a table or we're holding it up here. Grabbing really pretty close to that anchor point. Smelling the band, elbow stays high like you're wiping a table clean. Here we go. Okay, we're just looking over that front hand. Unless you need to see me, then that's fine. And one more. And relax. Awesome. Good job. Okay, everybody, that was the workout for today. Quiet group. We're all regulars in here, so I think you're all probably just doing your thing, which is great. Thank you all for coming. I'm happy to be back. I missed everyone, and I will be happy to see you all next week. Have a great week. I'll stay on for a minute or two if anyone has any questions or comments. And yeah, thank you so much. Have a good rest of your day.
Thank you so much, Megan.
Thank you.
Always.
All right. Oh, good, Janice. Awesome. I was waiting for a comment from Janice. See you Monday. All right. And I think that's